I either feed it up and look for this kind of high knee switch. Yeah, when they step forward, this is when I find I can start looking for tangle, foot sweeps, dummy sweeps, and stuff like that.
What's up, guys? It's Eli here with Night Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm here with the man, Jozef Chen here. He's about to teach a seminar, but I was picking his brain on everything that I possibly can because, I mean, it's Jozef Chen. So the thing I wanted to ask him about on this video were wrestle ups, because he's got some of those beautiful wrestle ups I've seen in competition in a long time. And you know, not to like gush all over him while he's standing right next to me, but a big fan. And so I wanted him to show a couple of concepts from like seated versus standing, because I find myself in that position a lot and I need to be much better at it. So Joseph.
Generally, when I look to wrestle up, I think some things that are very important when playing seated guard is first of all my own posture, so that I can wrestle up, because a lot of people make the mistake of when they're seated, they play with both feet extended, and I find that this makes it harder for me to get up because it makes it a slower process, because at some point I'm always going to have to bring my heel to my butt to get up. It's very difficult for me to sit up if I keep both feet extended. So really adjusting this, and for myself at least, I prefer bringing my left heel to my butt and have my right leg extended. So now from here, at whatever point I can threaten coming to my knees, which makes my ability to incorporate wrestle ups a lot more easy, I guess. So when I play from this type of position, this is when I can then consider what is my partner doing in terms of hand fight to then set up my wrestling up. So now that I'm in a posture to move, it's time to see what he does. So oftentimes, depending on how your partner plays, assuming he's engaging with you and not just like running away, because if he's like really running away, this is when you really have to force engagement yourself. But once he's playing on me, so if your partner plays a collar tie, any type of grip your partner makes on you is an opportunity for us to like basically capitalize off of this type of extension he makes to then get my own grip, right? So in this case, when my partner plays with like a collar tie, he's trying to snap me. It's very important for me to use my right foot on the ground so that he just doesn't snap into my face to the floor. But if I'm just here, this is probably not going to be great for me. So I'd rather play with my heel, very much like activating my hamstring. So now when he tries to snap me down, I feel pretty okay. And then from here, this is when I'm going to start looking for elbow ties, possibly look for elbow passes, getting 2-on-1s. And at this point, we have a good grip to work with. However, the main thing with no-gi is that you have to make sure that you're prepared to have your grips broken and then subsequently re-grip, right? Because initially, if he doesn't do anything from here, okay, great, I have great opportunities to hit drags, get to the legs, et cetera, et cetera. However, what's likely to happen is your partner's going to break this grip. And when they do, this is when it's good for you to anticipate and then chain into other attacks. It can be like wrist grips, it can be variations of drags, 2-on-1s. Sometimes they play with shoulder posts, right? Clearing. Sometimes they try to like, if he breaks the wrist grip again, I can try and make my own grip. It really depends on our positioning. So for example, let's focus on kind of a small thing that would change the grip I make. Whereas when your partner deals with the wrist, which is very likely to happen, if he's going below, I'm gonna start looking for this drag. Just because my hand is above his hand, I find it's easier for me to bring this down to then chain into my drag. And depending on how he plays, I'm not gonna try face in like opposite direction as him. I'm gonna try face towards his head. So now when he tries to turn face me, it's kind of difficult and it makes it easier for me to get to the shot. Versus for here, I find if I just keep facing the opposite direction, he can kind of slide forward, expose my back. This is gonna be problematic. So I wanna turn into him. Versus some people will make this grip on the wrist, but instead of being below my wrist, they'll be above and pull my grip up. And in these situations, what I'm gonna do instead is actually I'm gonna use this kind of V grip and bring it up to then actually make a wrist grip instead of going for the drag. And off of this wrist grip, depending on what my partner does, I either feed it up and look for this kind of high knee switch, or if I'm here, he breaks the grip, I can start looking to either bring him forward. Often, if they don't want to expose like the elbow, right? Because if they're here, there's a lot of space for me to work with. This is great. They'll play with this elbow tight, and they'll often step forward, right? To keep your elbow tight. Yeah, when they step forward, this is when I find I can start looking for tangle, foot sweeps, dummy sweeps, and stuff like that. So it really just depends how your partner plays. But even small things like that, understanding the difference in your partner's grip positioning on how that might affect the grips that you're gonna make, right? Because from here, if I try to go underneath, it might be a little bit more awkward. Okay, here it's more appropriate for me to go over and hit this drag, and so on and so on. And so when you're hand fighting here, there's gonna be a lot of situations like these where you have to think, okay, what's his positioning? What's my positioning, and what options do I have? like for a while when I started like really focusing on hand fighting, I would just do like drilling per se with my partner where I'd be like, okay, what are you gonna do? And then they break the grip, and I'm thinking, okay, what are some good attacks I can do? So maybe I'd experiment with trying to pass it across. But then, okay, I'll do that again. So try to resist me a little bit, like, what are you gonna do? Okay, maybe I have to go back. And just get into the habit of constantly chaining grips and being prepared to do so.
So what do you think? Do you think that there's a benefit to, because I mean, everything now is like eco games or CLA games and everything else. Do you think there's a benefit to the, like a combination or like a ratio of like drilling versus just like organic constraint-led approach? Like, how do you feel with that? Because I know probably most of the training that you do right now, I would imagine is situational, like isolated situational, or just a lot of it's just being figured out during rolls. Yeah, so I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm against drilling for reps, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this 10, 15 times and just be brainless, in my opinion. Generally, when I like to drill, like I'll spend a fair bit of time drilling, but it's with, I'm moderating the amount of resistance I'm getting. So, like I said just now, I like, one of the things I'm a big proponent of is drilling with a dialogue, where I'm from here, okay, what are you gonna do? Okay, you're gonna try to break this wrist grip? Okay. What can I do to make it difficult? So if I kind of angle this down, try to do it again?
Yeah, I felt that.
Break it, break it. Okay, maybe you have to break it a different way. Or maybe then this is where you shoulder post me. Or maybe you try to deal with the other arm. I'm trying to really figure out these situations as opposed to, okay, let's just drill that wrestle up 15 times. I'm not gonna do this, you know? So I'm thinking, okay, what adjustments can I make? And then, okay, if I can't deny this grip break, what am I gonna do? Okay, I feel like I might be a little exposed here. Like if you got an underhook on me, I feel like that's kind of threatening. I'm gonna be ready to switch that to a thumb post if necessary. And then off of this thumb post, maybe I have a drag on the near side. And then okay, let's try that again. So you break the grip. Okay, play with that thumb post. What do you feel like you're gonna do from here? Okay, then maybe I can start. I'm gonna play off of this. And then I can ask then, okay, can you kind of turn it up on me a little bit? And then we kind of do the same situation. Okay, let's see how that feels. And then eventually at some point, I'll be like, okay, I don't need to drill this anymore. I'll probably then try to do either specific rounds or try to hit this in open.
Yeah. No, I like that idea though, like even with the drilling portion of it, it's like dialoguing it out. It's like, all right, what are you gonna do here? So it's like a chess game.
It's a discovery process in my mind, where it's a chess game where you can go back a few steps if you need and then keep kind of repeating the same situations.
So it's like a chess game with a video game respawn points, a different chess. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, dude, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for all the knowledge from earlier and during this video, and then from the seminars about to come. So, all right. Well, you're out of luck then if you didn't make it to Charlotte this time. We're over here in Charlotte Jiu-Jitsu, so shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Jozef Chen. Appreciate you guys very much for watching this video and everything else. And yeah, thanks a lot, guys.